Hey everybody, welcome back to video number 3 of week 1. In this video, we're going to go through defining, differentiation, and domination, and there's going to be some action items for you guys to complete. We are essentially going to put your whole launch together, the price, the differentiation, MOS, your statement, the niche, everything all put together, guys. I'm going to show you step-by-step how to do this. Then we'll also look at mapping out your launch delivery and really define what you're going to be giving during your launch and the value that you're going to be providing. So first thing we'll talk about is differentiation. And again, we'll go more into this in the action items, but I'll give you an overview now. We'll talk a little bit about MOS packaging, price and differentiation, value packaging, which is the most important part of this video. And like I said, there'll be action items for you guys to complete. We're going to put your whole product together. All right, value domination. This is important, guys. This is a quote from Elon Musk. If you know me, I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, and I love this quote. I remember seeing this and realized this encapsulated what is value. And it's the same encapsulation that I have in my own launch company, my training company, and I live by this. Okay, so here's his master plan. Build sports car, use that money to build an affordable car, use that money to build an even more affordable car. While doing the above, also provide zero emission electric power generation options. Don't tell anyone, okay? So what I love about this and what I took from this is Elon is always thinking about value and how can he serve a wider community? How can he create so much value at such a low price that everyone can experience his product? And I started to think, well, why can't we do the same as trainers? So I'm going to show you how I put this together for my training company, and I recommend you guys just copy that. All right, pricing your launches with value. Value is all I care about, with income being the byproduct of this. Now, what's crazy, guys, if you go just after focusing on the money, it won't come as fast as if you focus on the value first. It's quite bizarre how that actually works, okay? So if you focus on just the income, you will lose sight of the value and you'll become red ocean very, very quickly. Remember, we're trying to get blue ocean. I know if my value is higher than my competition, I can compete for the long term. This is a long-term game, guys. So here's what I did. I price my launches, courses, masterclasses, everything I have different than the majority, and it's for a very smart reason. I understand my market, their needs, and their financial situations. They've spent a lot of money on being certified, doing courses, going to events. So when pricing my service, I could not just have higher prices like most. I couldn't compete at that level. Otherwise, I could not compete and stand out. I'd just be doing what everybody else is doing. So I've made a very, very, very bold decision, and it worked so freaking well that no one really believes me when I talk about it, but you guys will be able to see this because you're in this course, okay? So this is what I did. This is the executive decision I made. My value proposition is this, and I obsess over this statement. How can I create a launch, a course, a seminar, products, masterclasses, everything that I do that has one of the lowest, if not the lowest prices in the industry, but has more value than the most expensive, okay? So how can I create a course for $2,000 or $1,000 that rivals like a $50,000 mastermind? And this value proposition allows me to compete at such a level that no one can duplicate my prices, which is my differentiation, and give more results, okay? So at the end of the day, guys, remember, this is your business and you can choose to price your service whatever you wish. I don't mind either way, as long as you're consistent with your value, you know your economics, you know what you want to earn, it's up to you, okay? These are just my recommendations. You can use them as you like. But always remember in the back of your mind, guys, the higher the price, it's going to be a lot harder to compete, okay? So in the back of your mind, remember, if you can differentiation on price, okay, value, quality, and support, okay, you'll win the long-term game, because price won't have an impact because you'll be known as the person that gives value. And that's what people want. It's not the price, it's the value you offer. It's the solution to someone's problem. So 7-figure value. As a new trainer, price reasonable, okay? You've got to be realistic here. You cannot expect to be brand new and charge very high prices. Once you gain a reputation, then you can increase. And that's pretty typical, okay? Or you can do what I did and gain a massive reputation from my value. That's how I got out there and became known for what I do. It wasn't my prices, it was the value that I put out. And make my programs and courses as cheap as I can possibly make them, but give more value than even the most expensive courses, masterminds, and events. Okay, and this works ridiculously well, guys. The most interesting thing is when you price your value as high, you will never need to upsell. Your students will just want more value from every course you have. If you've been to one of my live courses, my upsell, so from an ACH, I tell people we've got a Masters of ACH coming up 8 weeks from now, whatever it is. And that's my upsell. And I say either do it or don't. If you've gone to like another seminar or an event, if you notice, if it's like a 3-day event, the first 2 days are training you. And then the third day is like a full day of selling you and upselling you and making you feel bad if you don't go and do the next course. My upsell offer takes about 30 seconds, because if I'm telling my students I'm giving you a 3-day course, I want to spend all of that time teaching and giving value. Then I don't have to upsell. I just tell people how to go sign up. This is what it is, either do it or don't. And my upsells are bigger because I'm not pushing people towards it. And again, this all comes and ties back to that value statement. Okay. Support. Your students, guys, will want support. They'll want a community. I'm going to show you how to put together the community and run your community as well. And to know that you are there for them. You're not just there to take money from them. Okay. Include this as you see fit. Some of you guys won't want to have Facebook groups and supports and community. That's fine. Again, I'm just breaking down my company and you guys can use it as you see fit. So what I do is I offer lifetime access and attendance to everything. That is my value at no extra cost. So I pretty much say once you enroll once, lifetime access, you can attend as many of the live trainings as you like. You get all the free updates. You can stay in the Facebook group and for lifetime access to the program for lifetime. If I do updates, which I do a lot, I mentioned this before, the people that have enrolled just get those updates as well. I'm always trying to increase that value, not my prices. Okay. So your market, you have to understand your market, guys. I'm going to show you guys how to really get into the minds of your market and define who you want to work with so you can be that blue ocean. Also, you want to see what your competition is charging. Okay. Let's be realistic. Everybody has competition. You can't ignore these things, but you can use what they do, their prices and what they offer as a launch pad to try and make yours better. Okay. Try and compete on price, value, and lifetime support instead of matching the price and just giving the same thing as everybody else. It's like cookie cutter out there. If it's cookie cutter out there, all it takes is for another trainer to say, okay, I can teach you the same thing as Joe Blogs, but I can do it for $100 cheaper. That's not a good place to try and compete in business. I want to compete on all levels: price, support, value, long-term support, long-term value. Always think, like Elon Musk said, make the car first, use that money from that to make a second car that's cheaper, that's better than the more expensive one. Okay. Long-term. One thing that makes a training company thrive, guys, is numbers. This is a totally different business model compared to like a one-to-one therapist where our prices have to be high. With a training company, your prices can actually work at a lower place. But again, it's up to you what you want to charge. So one thing that makes a training company thrive is numbers, testimonials, and the success of your students. If you have more students, as your prices are competitive, the bigger chance of your testimonials and success stories. Okay. So it really comes down to a numbers thing. So long-term numbers will always work for you. Okay. And if you give enough value, it means all your students will have success. Okay. Now, sure, another training company might charge 20 times, 50 times what I charge, but their numbers are lower and their successful students are lower. Okay. Because they're not putting the value as an aggregate, you know. There is like I'm just going to charge the most because I want to make the most amount of money, and they lose sight of what their students really need. And I see this time and time again. So they might charge 20 times what I charge, but the numbers and success students are lower. Hence, their success stories are far and few between. Okay, a lot of trainers can go out there and talk the talk, but when you really deep dive into their success stories and what they're really doing and the impact they're having on their students, it's very hard to find, it's very hard to see. Always remember this, guys, commit to value first, then compete on price that is fair to you and your market, okay? And this is what I call a slow burn offer. And let me explain more of what I mean. Slow burn offer. Your offer over time will evolve as your understanding of your students and their needs will become more apparent. In addition, your differentiation will become more defined and more blue ocean over time. And this is normal and natural. It's a slow burn offer. You are not going to get it right the first time. I mentioned before how many iterations I went through, okay? Some launches will do better than others. Some will fail. Eventually you'll come to a place where your launch is on fire, okay? It's just hit the mark. Your products hit the mark, but you can only do that as you evolve, as you learn more about your market, okay? So don't try and get it right the first time, just get it done, okay? So deeply defining your offer, your MOS. Your MOS is what we call minimum optimum service. Okay, we'll talk about this in the action item as well. It's how can you trim the fat off your certifications, events, and courses so they're not as bloated. Okay, so deeply defining your offer, your MOS, your value, your price will be red ocean to start with. Mine was too. Your goal with every launch is to make it bluer each time and compete in such a place where even the world's best gurus cannot compete. Training school launches in the course creation industry is a long-term game. There's a lot of competition, guys. Some people compete and do what I call a quick burn. They create subpar courses, very high prices. They hype it up. It's all smoke and mirrors. Then once all that hype dies down, the people that invested are left with no plan to follow, no community, no course access. They're left with basically nothing, and the trainer's nowhere to be seen, okay? I won't talk about the names that I've seen do this, but you'd be very surprised, and if you do some research, you'll be able to see this. You'll see these trainers and courses come out, they're all hype, and after a year or so, once the testimonials start coming through, that course is no longer available. You can't see that trainer elsewhere. Or I know there are some trainers, which is really unfortunate, they'll go out, they'll actually change their name, do the same quick burn, create some more crappy courses, and they'll do it over and over and over again. All that happens, guys, is your word will get out very, very quickly. Your students and clients become smart enough to see through the hype. At the end of the day, once all the hype dies down, I've just helped my client get to 7 figures in 2-day type posts. You've seen them all before. And the real stuff starts coming through. The only thing that's left is the value you provide and the success your students have. I like slow burn. I hate quick burn, but it's up to you how you want to do it. Okay. If you want to follow just creating subpar courses and events without really helping your students benefit from those, it becomes just like a quick money grab for that trainer. Don't be that person. For those who want long-term impact, income have been known in this industry, I invite you to think about the above slides, the value, the price, the slow burn effect, okay? And then over time, just creating so much more value and then competing on price as well. But again, it's up to you how you want to do it. So let's get clear on your offer. I'll give you an overview here. We're nearly done with this video. Then you can dive into the action items, and all of those things will be taught to you step by step. So here's what we'll go through. You have to get clear on your offer, guys. Your offer needs to go beyond, it might not at the start, but it needs to eventually go beyond just another NLP certification, just another hypnosis course. It can't be that, because then you're red ocean. So what do you know about your target audience? There'll be an action item, what I call your blue ocean launches. We'll go through all of that. Who is it for? Okay. Is it just general public? Is it brand new people? Is it current therapists? For us, it's current hypnotherapists. Therapists that want to upskill, I guess that's us as well. People that want to change a career, general public. Is it males? Is it females? Who is it? We've got to find these people, because we need to know who these people are. So in week 2, we can target them with our social media. Like I said, if you go out there and just say, I'm just going to host a 3-day NLP certification, you instantly go into competition. And it's fine. It can work, guys. It can work with enough endurance during your social media, okay, and using your asymmetry posting, which we'll look at in week 2, but it's a very hard place to compete in, okay? Over time, you can become that person, but we've got to find your little slice of the pie, so to speak. It's the same thing I teach my one-to-one therapists. You have to niche. We have to know who you are. If you're just out there selling hypnosis at $100, you're instant red ocean, okay? And it's no different here. It won't start there, guys. Like I said, it's slow burn. Over time, become bluer over time. So don't freak out if you don't get it right the first time. I always have in the back of my mind now, even though I'm successful in what I do, always trying to really define and get so blue, no one can compete with me, okay? So what appeals to them? Why would they want to do your course? Why would they choose you over everybody else? Why would they choose you instead of me? Why would they choose you instead of another top guru? Why would they want to work with you and do your course compared to everybody else? Okay? Does your audience in your target market, are they looking to upskill? Maybe they have your course teaches them how to have better communication with their clients about making more money. What is it, okay, that goes just beyond the certification, okay? What exactly is your offer? Times, days, things, bonuses, mentoring, Facebook group, monthly masterclasses. We'll define all those in the worksheet. And what is your price and what does this include, okay? So answering these questions so you can see it really transparently, here's my ACH offer. Who is it for? Qualified hypnotherapists, NLPs, and coaches. So if someone wants to do my ACH, I tell them you have to have some sort of background in therapy have to have some sort of background in hypnotherapy. And because I don't certify you, you need to get certified somewhere else. Then you can come to me and I'll show you how to do things in a very remarkable way. Okay. Now, yes, I have taught this to brand new people and it's worked very, very well. Okay. But there's a lot of extra moving parts with that. I prefer working with people that are already qualified because it's easier for me to solve their problems and teething problems once they're qualified because I know the state of the courses and the industries out there. Okay. So what appeals to them and why? Okay. They want to add speed to their breakthroughs without scripts, audios, and preparations. Okay. So that's what I did. That's what ACH happens to be. What do you know about your target audience? Well, this is what I know. It takes far too long with clients. Income's too small. They're unsure of their results. They do too much prep. Their courses that they're going to are far too long with too much theory, no application demos, and no support. So what's crazy is ACH in its form does all of the opposite of this. Very quick results, very high income. Know without a shadow of a doubt your client has got the results. No prep whatsoever. The course we have is 2 to 3 days. We've got students that have been learning like a 2-year diploma in hypnotherapy that have told us on countless occasions they learned more in that 2 to 3 days than they did in a 2-year diploma or something like that. No application of demos. We do 3 days of demos instead of just having long, boring lectures. No support. We give lifetime access and support. So really what I've done is I found all the biggest problems in the industry. I'm going to show you how to do this for yourselves, guys. And I've literally just done the opposite. So when I come out there and say, these are all the things you get, plus my prices are competitive, it's a no-brainer for these people. And that's how I'm able to sell out my launches so quickly. Okay. And as I mentioned before, the upsells sell themselves because once they see value in one thing I do, they want everything I have. And each course I have, I try and make the value better than the previous course. Okay. So what exactly is my offer? It's a 3-day ACH training. So that's 2 days of ACH for therapy. That's the process we teach. Plus we have that 1-day bonus, which is all about pricing, the script, all that sort of stuff. So they can literally, my idea is they leave my training, they're already qualified, leave my training, upskilled completely, go out and start charging higher prices. The goal is to make their money back on the $1,000 they spent on my ACH course, and they keep everything for life. It's a no-brainer when I explain it like that. Okay. So this also has in it lifetime enrollment and support. Attend as many live trainings as you like. Access to me, literal lifetime access. Do not pay for anything ever again. Plus the updates and all that sort of stuff. It's a no-brainer. What is my price? $997 Australian. What does that include? Private Facebook group, masterclasses, and mentoring, online training platform, lifetime access, enroll once and stay for life. That's my value. Can you see how crystal clear that is? Did it start there? Absolutely not. And it's going to keep evolving to the point where, and this is not the ego talk, this is sort of what I have in my head when my competition looks at it and says, I can't compete with that, I'm just going to give up. Now, I don't want them to give up, but that's the idea I have. How can I make like Elon Musk, that car that is so cheap, that is better and rivals even the biggest industries and cars out there? That's what I'm going from. Always trying to Elon Musk my offer. I don't want people to see my offer and go, you know what, I'll think about it. What I want them to see and go, well, it's a no-brainer. It has everything I need. And all the bonuses nobody else gives me, plus the price is 10 times cheaper than somebody else out there. And look at all the testimonials. That's what I'm going for, okay? So if you're an ACH licensed trainer as well, we've inbuilt this into the ACH training. You could pretty much replicate that. If you're a trainer training NLP or hypnosis or other various forms of therapy, you can see how easy this becomes, okay? And I'll take you through the worksheets and the action items, show you how to do this for yourself. Now, this is not about guessing. I'll show you how to hunt for this information and then create your offer around that, okay? All right, so in the action items, we have the blue ocean launches. We'll go through hunting. We'll look for what your audience really needs. Your niche, really defining who these people are. Your price, will cement your price, and your MOS differentiation, what your statement will be. And then your action item will also map out your launch delivery. What is it going to look like? How many days? How many hours? Is it going to be online, face-to-face? Is there bookwork? Do they get access to a training platform? What is it you have? Just so you've got it clear in your mind, because this is what you're going to be focusing on moving into week 2 in your launch. How do I sell this thing? We want to have all of this stuff mapped out so you can answer all the questions according to what you're going to be giving people. Okay. So that's this video done, guys. Move into the action items. I'll see you in the first one. Bye for now.